Alright guys, today on Short Side Wristers, we're going to discuss the Winnipeg Jets esports event. The closed qualifiers are done. We know who is going to the LAN. We're also going to talk about big body players versus smaller ones in Hockey Ultimate Team and versus, and if it really matters and what your guys' opinion is on them. I'm No Sleeves 12. Let's jump right into it. So guys, let's first start with the Winnipeg Jets esports event. I did commentary for both days. It was a long event. It was a best of 3 double elimination, meaning you had to lose 4 games with the potential of playing 6 just to be knocked out first round, essentially. So it did go quite long, but it was the best way to determine who was the best possible player to go, because again, if you get best of 3, gives you the opportunity to mean that it isn't just one bounce or one bad ice tilt game, anything like that. So that was a good thing. So ended up being Hockey Kings. He not only did he qualify for the Detroit LAN event, he has now locked up his spot at the Winnipeg event. So he is going to be very busy over the next little while. He's been playing great. He took out Ethan in the finals. Mivians came up a little short this past event, but he's been doing very well in all of these events. He's just looking for that one where he just breaks through the whole way. But yeah, I expect him to bounce back very shortly, and even in the GWC that's coming. On the PlayStation side, it was Regs who qualified. He got that first round bye, won every round that he did, and then Josh Fearless ended up knocking out Canadians in the losers bracket finals. But because Josh had already qualified for Minnesota, they're on the same day. So he couldn't go to it. So basically, Canadians, got to save himself some time. Or sorry, Regs got to save himself some time, and he's booked his spot for the next LAN event. So he makes up for the stumble he had in the Minnesota event, coming up just short in that. And now he will be the other one taking on Hockey Kings. So Regs versus Hockey Kings, 2 of the younger guys in the community, 2 of the better players in the community. It's going to be interesting to see who wins that and who takes home that big prize in Winnipeg. But now let's get into the meat and potatoes here. Alright, so like I said, I want to discuss big players versus smaller players because it's something that maybe I just can't understand. I need an outsider's perspective. But when it comes to building a roster, I completely ignore size of players. And again, everyone might freak out about that, or the hardcore HUD versus players might freak out about it, but hear me out here. Especially when it comes to defensemen. And if you've been in my stream or if you've been on on my YouTube channel, you'll know that Bernie Jeffroun's one of my favorite cards. Very small forward, and I put him on my first line defense. And the reason for it is I think that the only actual attributes you can see black and white, like you can actually see in the game, are speed and shot. I mean, you can't really test any of the other defensive stats like poke check and aggression and things like that. You can't actually show me clips of someone with less poke check skill and more poke check. It's like you just don't see it, right? Like, I'm sure that it does add bonuses or add benefits, but the defensive skills and attributes just aren't able to be shown. And I'm sure they're there. Again, I'm not saying that they're just, it's just a number and they don't mean anything. That's not what I mean. But shot and speed, those are 2 quantitative that you can 100% see. Someone with a better shot accuracy actually hits the net, whereas someone with a 75 slap shot accuracy is like Aki Berg sending it 17 feet wide. So when it comes to defensemen specifically, because their shot is so bad this season, when they reduced all of the attributes, right, they really did a number on shooting, and I don't know if that was because they wanted to make it, they needed to make the defensemen's numbers go down. So because of all the other defensive stats being high because of defensemen, they needed a stat to kind of drop down so that they're not higher rated than forwards. Victor Hedman's a perfect example. That card has been brutal all year long because, well, he's got decent speed, but his shot accuracy, or I believe his shot power, is like a 75 at launch. Like it was an under an 80 on his base card, and his prime times only been going up by his prime times milestones and team of the weeks have only been going up by +2, and his card still isn't all that good. Whereas if you have Bernie Jeffrey who's got 99 speed to make sure that you don't get straight lined on the rush, you can always get back. You're shifting the neutral zone when someone's curling around. and he has 99 slap shot power and accuracy. I have over 60 goals with him in 280 games in HUD because like I'm just literally wiring bombs from him. He's a little cheat code. It's crazy to me. But again, he's smaller, so but I don't really go for hits. It's just something I haven't done ever since NHL 18. I just don't really go for hits all that much. I find that it puts you out of position quite a bit, and I feel like, controlling your stick with a manual defensive skill stick, I feel like that's better in almost every case than hitting. But again, that's just my own opinion on it. But I want to get the sense on you guys. Like, do you guys sacrifice shot or speed for a big body defenseman or player because you like the way that he handles the puck? I know balance is one thing. Like balance and not being able to be knocked off the puck very easily, that's for sure important. And I can see it more in forwards. But on defensemen, like defensemen in the offensive zone now are weapons. If you can get someone with a 95 slap shot power and accuracy, all you've got to do is do the D to D one time or the far side, and it just goes in a ton now. It's a super easy way to get goals and create offense. I do it all the time. Probably it's too much now. I almost use it as a crutch, but I've got such a good defensive core in HUD that like it's just too easy for me. It's also very simple. So if you're not very good at the game or you lack creativity down low, it's very easy to just send it back to the point and start launching missiles. But okay, guys, let me know what you guys think as far as the size issue when it comes to creating your roster. Do you sacrifice stats sometimes to just have a big guy? I know Zdeno Chara, for example, is a big one, but he's just too slow for me. Like I don't know. I find I'm gonna lose the puck or not be able to skate by anyone with him. But I just want to get your guys' opinion on it. So let's talk the new HUD content recently. So yesterday we got a few milestone cards as well as prime times. Kucherov got a 93 prime time. He's up there now where he's one of the better players. Again, right-handed players are fantastic in this game just because at the high end there isn't very many good ones. And Kucherov is slowly becoming one of the best. The other prime times, I would ignore them all, to be honest with you guys. I've said this for months now. If you get any primetime or milestone cards, literally any of them, including Kucherov, to be honest with you, just sell them. They're worth way more in coins, so you can buy a card that you'll have much longer. Because the second that you pack a primetime, it's like a new card. The second you drive it off the lot or you put it in your lineup, it's just going to decrease in value because at the end of the month, there's going to be a new one. You know what I mean? Especially with a high-end player. So it's just something to watch out for. But if you do pack that Kucherov, that's a good pull. And depending on the price, I'd probably keep them for a little while, but I would sell them before the end of February for sure. We got a 92 carry price milestone card. Man, so I talked with one of the developers in one of my first podcasts about goaltenders and why are big goalies the meta? And he told me that it's a mixture of size and skill. So essentially, smaller goalies that have higher skills will be able to get and move their body frames faster than the weaker ones. But the problem is that the bigger goalies will make incidental contact saves where they'll miss it with their glove and it'll hit their shoulder just because they're big. So you want to mix size and skill in net. Like that's going to be the best goaltender. So right now, the 92 carry price might be one of the best, just because he's very, very large and a 92 overall. Speak of the devil, Victor Hedman gets a 91 for 400 points. 94 speed, 83 shot. He's a 91 with 83 shot, guys. I don't really need to discuss that anymore. He's a big body player, and I'm sure that some people use him, and he works out well. But, man, there's just no reason to not have a forward on D when it comes to Victor Hedman. I would just switch off. Again, if you don't like putting forwards on D, I totally understand that. Before this game, I was super OCD about having forwards on D, but at this point, it's like, man, 83 shot, it's almost March. Like, Tarasenko finally gets something. He's an 87 overall. Man, just a disappointing year for him. That HUT Champs card that came out about a month ago for Tarasenko is super expensive because you're not going to get any decent Tarasenkos, even close to that. We got new flashbacks. So we had the Zetterberg come out as well as the Rick Nash last week as kind of like the master set of the week. So I made the Zetterberg. I'm not noticing anything crazy about him. Put him on the wing. He's not playing like a 95, but again, it just might be my own experience with him. This week, it looks like we're getting the same thing again, where we're getting cards as far as flashbacks throughout the whole week. So on February 11th, yesterday, we got a 90 overall Scott Hartnell. Cool card. Scott Hartnell is one of my favorite players throughout like the mid 2000s and whatnot. But 96 overall skating, 87 shot. It's not terrible, but again, if you got him, these cards are are more rare because there just isn't very many of them, and I would sell them, to be honest with you. I would love to see the 2 on the 15th. I'm surprised they didn't go with this in the first one, and maybe they're doing this again because I don't know, they missed an opportunity. But the flashback event's been great. But Sedins, it's got to happen. There's 2 on the 15th. I'd be stunned if the Sedins aren't one of these. I know the flashbacks are happening all throughout February, but yeah, it's just something that I think that it's going to be. It's a perfect time to do the Sedins. They just retired, kind of like Rick Nash, and they released 2 on the 15th, and it looks like they'll be 95s again, maybe. So that would be my guess there. I do have to say though, I don't know what it was this weekend, but man, packs were juiced. On the Friday, I opened up a few packs, and I got a Brian Trottier, the 83 overall, and I was trying to sell him so I could go and buy the Marcel Dion. So then yesterday, on Saturday, I ripped like 2 or 3 Gold Plus packs, got the 95 Marcel Dion. So like my team is nuts now, even crazier than it was before. And I don't know what it was. Maybe on the weekends now they're just absolutely juicing Gold Plus packs. But again, guys, I just, the reason why I was bringing that up is, well, weird flex, but you want to only use Gold Plus packs, guys. Don't rip any other packs. It's not worth it. If there's some gimmicky one like the Diamond Collectible one that came out, don't buy that, man. If you're going to spend money on the game, buy Gold Plus packs. Get a whole bunch of them. You're going to get a better chance at better cards, that you'll probably make enough money to buy the Diamond Collectibles or whatever collectibles out anyway. So just a heads up for anyone looking to buy cards. So guys, that's going to do it for me today. No stream, 9 a.m. to 12 p.m. I got to go to training at work for the next 2 days, so I'm going to stream at night. So if you guys watch me in the morning, I'd appreciate coming out at night. It's going to start around 6 p.m. Might stream until about 9 or 10. And yeah, guys, so I will see you then. You guys have a great one.